I wanted to do a follow-up on the video I did about the importance of your dog's diet. And dogs are just like humans, okay? You are what you eat. You've heard of that. I used to have a blog many years ago called You Arf What You Eat. But it's so true. What you put in is what your body's going to utilize and not utilize. And I want to compare this to my father and my father in law. Now, my father lived to be 94 years old, and my father in law, I believe he lived to be 93 years old. But their health was really different from one extreme to the other. And in my opinion, it had a heck of a lot to do with the diet. My father, at 90 years old, was on the front page of the Richmond Times Dispatch in the leisure section for leading exercise classes at 90 years old, okay? Why was he this way? Let's first talk about my father-in-law. My father-in-law, again, he lived, I think, to be 91 years old, and ever since I knew him, he was just in horrible health. Okay, so what's the difference with these two men? My father, who was teaching exercise at 90, he always was very careful what he ate. And I don't even think he was careful. It was a mindset. He just knew. We would go there, to visit with my kids, and he would have no processed food. I mean, no processed food. The only thing he had were the Nabisco graham crackers, okay? So no boxes of food. And in the refrigerator, he would always have cooked steamed broccoli, and he would always make pasta, and he cooked Italian. He did a lot of garlic. He drank a glass of wine with lunch and dinner. He had a lot of fruits and vegetables. And he also invited young people into his circle, which is a really important thing also. But that's a different story. Then you have my father-in-law, and I don't know what to say. They lived in a small home, and we would go there, and I would just be overwhelmed because in their kitchen and in their laundry room, they would have boxes and boxes of Twinkies and Ho-Hos. Yeah, this was just like maybe 10 years ago. I don't know if they make Twinkies and Ho-Hos anymore. And cinnamon rolls and all this prepared gunk, okay? And my father-in-law had a lot of health issues, cardiovascular issues, hardening of the arteries, brain health, okay? Whereas my father-in-law took a lot of medicine to be out of pain, because he had blood clots, because he had arthritis. My father took zero medications. He did have some arthritis because he had to get 2 hip implants. He outlived the first hip implant because he used to be a truck driver down in Wall Street delivering pies back. He was born in 1909, so this is back in the 30s. Anyway, he had no health problems. He had zero health problems, okay? And if he would meet you on the street, he would say, you need to lose some weight. I mean, trust me, I'm getting off topic, but what I'm saying is if you meet a person and their dog is 18 years old or 14 years old, look at that dog. And they say, you say, what's your secret? What did you feed your dog? And they say, oh, we feed, I don't know. I keep on saying Blue Buffalo. Kibbles and Bits, is that one? Or the wagon train? Or what are all these gross kibbles? Or Purina, whatever. And you ask them, did your dog have any health problems? And they say no. I think what people are thinking is when you get old, you're going to have arthritis. You're going to have aches and pains. You're going to have a foggy brain and all that. And that is simply not true. Again, I go back to saying if you feed your dog kibble all its life, it's like feeding your dog McDonald's. I want to say one thing. We went with my mother-in-law and father-in-law to Chicago to visit my sister-in-law. And we went in the, I don't know, by the harbor there, all these food places to eat food. And there was a lot of us. There were like six adults. And we broke up into our own couples to go and eat lunch, okay? Do you know where my father-in-law took my mother-in-law? McDonald's, okay? When there's all these wonderful places we could eat, he had to go to McDonald's, okay? And McDonald's puts maltodextrin in food, and so does kibble, to make not only the food taste better as a food enhancer, but to make you want to eat it more. It's like you got to have it. But anyway, I'm getting off tangent again, and I want to stay focused, and I already forgot what I wanted to say. Yes. So if you really have to look at an old dog, my first dog lived to be 16, and he got doggy dementia at age 14. That was his only health issue. And back then, I did not know, I got to get some coffee hold on a second. Back then, I did not know the importance of brain health for a dog. I didn't think that was a thing, but now I know that when I do have another senior dog, you have to do, omega-3s are important all a dog's life for skin health and coat. But CoQ10 is so important for brain health. And you say, no, Paula, CoQ10 is for heart. Yeah, it's for the heart, but it's for the heart to allow blood flow to the brain, okay? And there's other wonderful supplements when your dog gets older for brain health to try to prevent doggy dementia. I guess they really don't know, even with people, but you want to try to prevent that. And again, I go back to the arthritis, that my father-in-law had. He would eat all these carbs, the Twinkies and the Ho-Hos, carbs, carbs, carbs. One time we went out to a diner, all of us, to eat breakfast. And you know what he ordered for breakfast? A coconut cream pie, all right? He was a very, very unhealthy man, whereas my father was extremely healthy at an old age, The only thing, he would limp a little because he had a second hip replacement. So when people would see my dogs at 16 years old and Miss Bella, who lived to be 13, who could have lived longer, and that's a different story, they would say, how old are your dogs? And I would tell them, and they would be like, no, they look like puppies. They act like puppies. They play like puppies. And that's because I fed them animal species appropriate diets, okay? Dogs in the wild did not eat Ho-Hos, okay? Dogs ate meat and organs, and yes, blueberries. They show videos of wolves eating blueberries and vegetables, okay? So yes, you have to feed your dogs good, healthy food. Please get off the kibble. And if you want to consult with me, let me know. I will tell you how to get off the kibble, what to look for in buying a dog food. If you want to home cook, I can talk to you about that. If you want to feed raw or freeze-dried, I can talk to you about that. I need to see my time. Okay, so that's it. So yeah, you are what you eat. You are what you eat. And you know what? If I would stop eating cheese, I could lose at least 20 pounds. So it's really true, people, for us humans and for our dogs.